Dorothy Irene Height, the godmother of the modern civil rights movement, devoted her life to advancing racial and women's equality. Her lifelong dedication to social justice, spanning fair housing, voting rights, poverty alleviation, and education for African American women, aided the work of major leaders like Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., A. Philip Randolph, Mary McLeod Bethune, and several United States presidents. This is Who Lives Here, Season 2, A Case for Equal Space. Born in Richmond, Virginia, and educated in New York, Height began her community service career as a Harlem social worker in 1937 at the YWCA. Her dedication to this work led her to Washington, D.C. in 1939, where at the age of just 27, she became a prominent advocate for affordable housing for Black communities. When the psychology graduate arrived in D.C., housing was a critical issue, being inflamed by segregation policies in the area. World War II had drained the nation's capital of space and funds, and although efforts to establish equitable housing had been made by the Alley Dwelling Authority, which was founded in 1934 to inspect and alleviate the poor conditions of alley communities where poor Blacks resided, the mass influx of migrants to the city during the war resulted in overcrowded neighborhoods. Despite ongoing efforts by community leaders and government initiatives to abolish alley housing and promote integration, progress was constantly hindered by a lack of available space and resistance from white residents. Meanwhile, real estate developers were more focused on building new homes for white war workers. This increased disparities for Black residents who faced restrictive housing covenants and already had limited access to mortgage loans. With all of this happening in Washington, D.C., someone had to take on the task of improving housing conditions. Dorothy Height was the right woman for the job. As an activist and leader at Shaw's Phyllis Wheatley YWCA, Dorothy Height sought to expand housing options for people of color. She recognized the demand for housing due to all the wartime migration, and she conducted her very own survey of living conditions and advocated on a federal level for improved accommodations. Height's efforts led to the construction of the Lucy Diggs Slough Hall, which was the first government-built hotel for Black women war workers in Washington, D.C. The 322-unit Lucy Diggs Slough Hall, which is named after the first dean of women at Howard University, located right here at 1919 3rd Street, it cost $760,000 to construct. From 1942 to 1955, Slough Hall provided a safe haven during times of segregation, allowing Black women residents to thrive in various professional fields. Dorothy Height's impact on African Americans nationwide was lasting and multifaceted. Her dedication to racial equality led to her pivotal role in helping to organize the 1963 March on Washington for Jobs and Freedom. As president of the National Council of Negro Women, she secured a headquarters for the center right along Pennsylvania Avenue in 1995, transforming a former market for enslaved persons into a civil rights hub in downtown D.C. Her remarkable legacy lives on through her numerous accolades, including the Presidential Medal of Freedom in 1994 and the Congressional Gold Medal in 2004, and an induction into the National Women's Hall of Fame in 1993. This is Season 2 of Who Lives Here, A Case for Equal Space. See you on the next episode. Bye!